everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to my June TBR. So first off, I've decided I'm going to participate in the TBR Takedown Readathon that's being hosted by Shannon over at Leaning Lights. I'll leave a link to her video about this down in the description. It's going to be a readathon that takes place from the 1st to the 7th of June, and there's some challenges that go along with it, and I'm looking forward to using this to get some more stuff off my TBR. The first challenge is a book that's been sitting on your TBR shelf for over a year, and for this I've decided to go with Rashomon and 17 Other Stories by Ryunosuke Akutagawa, and I really should have looked at how to pronounce that before I started this video. But anyway, this is something that I've owned for years, and it will also count for another challenge that's happening this month, and that is Japanese June, that's being hosted by Colleen at Little Ghost Creations, and also Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings, and Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief, and Vanessa from Jaboski are all taking part in this. And so the idea of that is to focus on books by Japanese authors, so I really wanted to get at least one Japanese novel in this month, so I've decided to go with this one. It's a short story collection, it's fairly short, and is something that I've owned for way too long. The second challenge is an unread sequel sitting on your TBR shelf, and for this I've decided to focus on The Fox by Sherwood Smith. This is the book that I didn't quite get to in May, and I'm now super behind on Sam's IndaClub Read-Along. For this, I really enjoyed Inda, so I'm really wanting to know what happens next. It just didn't quite happen last month, so I'm hoping if I try and focus on it this week that I can get through a good big chunk of this, if not all of it. If I'm particularly successful, we'll see what happens, but I'd like to start off June with a big push to this one so I can finally try and get a little bit closer to caught up for this read along. The third challenge is a first book in a series on your TBR shelf, and for this I'm combining with Year of Cosmere and going with Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. This is one of two books that's being read for the Year of Cosmere read-along this month, and I've been garbage at actually participating in the discussions around Year of Cosmere, but this is another of Brandon Sanderson's books that I own and am really looking forward to getting to, so I thought it would work perfectly for the first book in the series. This is the first book in his Reckoner series. There are currently 2 books out, this one and Firefight. So I am definitely looking forward to getting to this one. And from what I understand, this one is about evil superheroes, so I'm down for that. The fourth challenge is to read a book that's out of your comfort zone, and for this I have picked Being Mortal by Atul Gawande. This is a book from the 6th Book Right Quarterly Box, so one of the last 2 things that I have to read to be all caught up for the quarterly boxes. And the reason this one is out of my comfort zone is because it is non-fiction, and I'm not generally the biggest of non-fiction readers, so I thought that would be perfect for this. This one's focused on medicine and aging and death, and I think it sounds like a really fascinating topic. And something that I am looking forward to reading, but it's definitely one that classes as out of my comfort zone because it's not something that I would have picked up had I not received it in the Book Right Quarterly Box. And the fifth challenge is a book from your most recent haul, and I am bringing back The Fox by Sherwood Smith. This one was in my April book haul, and because it's such a big one, I think I can definitely combine 2 challenges into one for this one. As I said, really want to use this week as a push to try and get through as much of this one as I can. I would really like to get to the other things on my TBR as well, but I'm feeling the most guilty about this one and would like to catch up on this. So those are the 4 books that I've got picked out for TBR Takedown, and now we'll look at what I'd like to read for the rest of the month. So my Agatha Christie for the month is The Moving Finger, and this is another of her Miss Marple novels and one that I have not read before. And this is actually the last book on the first shelf of my Agatha Christie collection on my bookshelves, so once I finish this one I will have gotten to the end of the first shelf for my chronological read through, and I'm really excited about that. I've got 2 buddy reads lined up for this month. The first one is the last of my Book Right Quarterly Box books, and that is Half Resurrection Blues by Daniel Jose Older. This one I'm going to be reading with Eleanor from Eleanor Reads Books, and I'm really looking forward to it. As I said, once I finish this and Being Mortal, I will have finished the books from the 6th Book Right Quarterly Box, which means I am all completely caught up. And there should be another box shipping this month, so I will be caught up perfectly in time, and hopefully in the future I will be able to keep ahead. That's the plan at least. And then later in the month I'm jumping on a buddy read plan between Yamini from The Skeptical Reader and Nicole from Dorka Brain, and that is Temeraire by Naomi Novik. This is something that I've had on my shelf for years. I originally fell in love with the cover of it, but the premise sounds equally fantastic. And I own the first 5 books in this series, I think, and they're just sitting there on my shelves not doing anything. So when I heard that Yamini and Nicole were going to be reading this next month, I decided to jump on in and use it as the push to pick this up finally. So the premise behind this one is it's set during the Napoleonic Wars, but there are dragons. And if that doesn't sound amazing, I don't know what does. So I'm so looking forward to finally picking this up, and that's going to be later in the month. Then I haven't decided what I'm going to read for my school books yet. I still haven't really worked out what I'm doing with this going forward. I haven't caught up on my videos of the earlier school books, but I'm now up to year 11. This is where there are quite a lot for the year, so I haven't decided. I'm very much going to have it depend on how much I get through of the rest of my TBR, as to how much room I have and what size books I pick up. I've got quite a few smaller ones that I can choose from for year 11 reading. So if I'm running tight on time, then I might choose a couple of those. If I've got a bit more time, which I don't know that will happen, then I can choose something a little bit bigger. So I'm not setting what that will be yet, but I'm aiming to read at least a couple of books from that if I can. Then another one that I don't know whether I will complete in the month, but again I'm hoping that I can catch up with this, is the next book for the IndaClub Read-Along. So this is book 3 in the series King's Shield. And if I'm able to get through the Fox quickly enough and through other things at my TBR, I'm hoping I can get to this one as well. I don't think that I will be able to finish this one in the month of June, so I think I still am going to be a bit behind on the read-along at the end of the month, but we'll see what happens. And then for audiobook this month, depending on what comes out of my TBR jar for the BookTube Recommends, which I will do shortly, I am thinking I will pick up another book for Japanese June and listen to Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This is one that I've been meaning to read for a long time. Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief read this one a couple of months ago for her year of Murakami, and I had kind of hoped I would get to it around that time, and that didn't happen. So I'm hoping maybe I can pick this up. Also, Erica from Erica We're Able is going to be reading this one this month, so it would be nice to be able to talk about it with somebody as well. So I think I'm going to go with that, but it all depends what comes out of my TBR jar. I also have Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara out from the library at the moment. I'm desperately hoping I can get to that one this month, but I think some of this other stuff has to take priority over that one. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so let's find out what my next BookTube Recommends book is going to be, and that will determine how successful the rest of my TBR is going to be. So let's have this one. And it is something upside down. I can't read it. It is Speak by Laura Hales Anderson, which is a teeny tiny book, so maybe the rest of this TBR will go alright. So this is a book that was recommended to me by Rachel from Shades of Orange, who was the original creator of the BookTube Recommends project, and so I'm definitely looking forward to picking this up. So I actually moved the stack of books that was sitting on my dresser down to my new bookshelves in the other room, so I'll just run off and try and find that one. So in the process of going to get that, I threw the rest of my TBR on the ground. But anyway, so I have Speak by Laura Hales Anderson. This one, as I said, is quite a small book, so it won't take me too long. It's also YA. Rachel spoke about this one as being YA, but YA with a bit more behind it, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And it's been quite a long time since I've read any YA, so it's probably time to, you know, give that a bit of a go again. So these are the books that I definitely like to complete in the month of June. And then King's Shield, if everything goes great, we'll see what happens. And I like to make a bit more progress in the complete stories of Flannery O'Connor. But if I was able to get through everything in this stack, I would be incredibly happy. So if you've read any of these ones, do let me know, and if you've got any questions about them, as always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!